hitting you guys with another quickie review in the hotel room. This new 2 Chainz album. Pretty girls like trap music. They like that trap music, don't they? 2 Chainz, as you most likely know, is a southern rapper who broke pretty big with his debut commercial album based on a true story, which, if you remember, I talked about recently in my video where I was discussing 10 albums that I kind of changed my mind on over the years, and I did certainly change my mind on that record because in retrospect it was really funny, really entertaining. 2 Chainz came through with an incredible amount of personality, and I just don't know what I was thinking at the time. I apologize. It's a decent record, and I think one that 2 Chainz, I wasn't the only one who disliked the album, but I don't think he gets enough props for the record. Okay, now this new one over here, it's almost like the album that, if I had heard it back when I didn't enjoy, based on a true story, maybe I would have liked it more than I do now, or loved it. You could certainly say that this is maybe his most solid album, considering how long it is. It's a very long record, and considering how long it is pretty solid in terms of tone and instrumental character, kind of sticking to a, sort of moody, sort of spacey trap sound. And it is, I think it sounds like his most professional project, There's not anything altogether goofy or absurd like much of Based on a True Story was. But, now that I kind of have had a bit of a 180 with what works for me with 2 Chainz and what doesn't, I'm kind of sitting here listening to this record. Sure, there are there's some standout tracks. Certainly the opener is easily one of his most lyrical and kind of like narrative-based songs. OG Kush Diet, really gritty, grimy track that I thought was great. 4 AM with Travis Scott is pretty good as well. Travis Scott, with his usual vocal shtick, brings a lot to the song. Trap Check is pretty dark and nasty and dank. And so is Sleep When You Die, a grind anthem, if you will. 2 Chainz, he plays it pretty much to, the moody, somewhat spacey trap sound of the now, not so much the banging and super aggressive and rattling and very noisy sound that trap sort of broke in with. Trap, for whatever reason over the years, the mainstream sound of it, with latest releases from Migos, especially with Culture, has grown kind of mellow, at least in the mainstream. You do have those underground artists that are greatly influenced by the sound, and, like Lil Pump, for example, and XXX, who are super aggressive, super distorted, off the wall, insane. But a lot of the mainstream artists, Future too, have grown increasingly mellow with their sound. I think 2 Chainz gives into that a little bit, and I'm kind of sitting here thinking, where are the earworm hooks? Where are the bangers? The features are okay, but they just seem like a little too trendy and very agreeable. The entire album for me feels a little middle of the road, and there's not anything on the album that hit me as being all too outlandish or fun. I mean, sure, with Based on a True Story, I didn't love the record, but there certainly were tracks that exemplified an incredible amount of character and quirkiness on the part of 2 Chainz that I did enjoy at the time, like Dope Peddler. There's not really a dope peddler on this album. The most sort of fun and witty and hilarious the album gets is every once in a while, 2 Chainz sort of throws us a bar. I mean, there was one bar in the album where, in the middle of a verse, he just starts going, "Fuck all that mumble shit," So it's like he's literally making fun of and impersonating mumble rappers, before he just sort of tells that shit to fuck off. Again, very solid, consistent, and professional sounding project, very focused sounding project. But where is sort of the vibrant personality and sense of humor that 2 Chainz rode in on? That sort of seems to be kind of gone on this album. And it hasn't really been exchanged with anything, because it's not like this album, in response to that, went super aggressive or super gritty. Again, it just sort of feels a little too smooth. It feels a little too middle of the road, and so many songs kind of breeze by without leaving all that strong of an impression in terms of a really great hook or a fantastic set of hilarious bars. So, again, I don't think it's a terrible project. It's very listenable, and I don't foresee this project getting a lot of bad reviews because there's not really anything that stands out as altogether horrible on this thing. But there wasn't really anything that stuck out to me as being terribly unique or amazing either. You know, it has a decent vibe to it, but definitely doesn't bring the heavy-hitting personality that I love hearing from 2 Chainz. But, you know, those are my thoughts on the record. Let me know what you guys thought down in the description. There is another review over here I think you should check out. Check out that review. Watch it, watch it, watch it. You can actually watch, it'll be my other 2 Chainz review for Based on a True Story. You know, you can watch me be a jackass and sort of change my opinion on that record. You can check out my old opinion on 2 Chainz' older stuff. And that'll be that, okay? I will catch you guys in the next video forever.